probably wondering, Impy, why are you showing us this old battle from like 2-3 weeks ago? And it's because it features something that, well, if you didn't read the title of the video, then you probably would already know. But in any case, yes, it's talking about Z-Snatch Mimikyu, and I'm going to explain why this strategy is so powerful, especially when used by Mimikyu. Now, for those of you who are wondering, first of all, when you give, Snatch to a Pokemon, the first thing it's going to do is it's a priority +2 move, so when it's going to go first before most other moves, especially other status moves, and what it does is the Pokemon waits for the first status move to be used. First one that's beneficial to the Pokemon. So, like, say a Pokemon tries to use, I don't know, Tailwind, for example, then Snatch will take that Tailwind. I believe that's how it works. But it also makes use of status moves such as, well, you're about to find out, such as Swords Dance. But what Mimikyu here pulled off, and that actually really got me impressed, was the way Mimikyu managed to combine the power of not only the Z-Snatch, but also the power of this Clefairy, and you're about to watch. So, ooh, giant Mimikyu. Alright, so first of all, I'm going to be going... Oh, no, wait, I forgot to mention that this is, of course, Z-Snatch Mimikyu, so Mimikyu's going to go first! So watch what happens. So it's going to go, speed stat is going to increase sharply. That's 2 stages of speed right off the bat. And now it's going to set up the Snatch. Now here I'm going to go try and do something against the Clefairy, because I thought it was going to go for Follow Me. So I just pummeled into the Clefairy. Big mistake on my part. And here comes the belly drum. The Clefairy goes for the belly drum. And because of the way Mimikyu works, the way Mimikyu is like set up, now it's got full +6 attack with +2 speed. And this is extremely scary for me. I just can't. My team just doesn't have anything to stop this Mimikyu. I can't outspeed it. I can't out-prioritize it. I can't even do anything to it because my one Pokemon that could do something, he can't do anything while the Clefairy is still up. And that time I was actually trying to go for the Mimikyu, but, follow me. So I think maybe if I go for something else, maybe if I go for something that may be able to resist him, but unfortunately this is still a +6 attack Mimikyu. So even though I kind of resist that, not really, I still get critical hit to the face, it's still a +6 attack, I'm gonna go down. Now Clefairy is gonna go down, but Clefairy has done its job. It has given Mimikyu the +6. Now this is my Quick Claw Vikavolt. This was my Quick Claw Vikavolt. I was trying to go for luck here. I was trying to pray to the RNGs to help me out here. But he predicted it. And now the finishing blow. Psych up. That's right. Now the Minior has +6 physical attack with +2 speed. And it hasn't even gone for a Shell Smash. There's just nothing I can do to stop this guy. Drain Punch is gonna restore the health that it was lost. I haven't even broken the frickin' disguise. That's how sad this is. And I believe this is the turn where I just forfeit because there's nothing I can do to stop the Mimikyu, yeah. Oh my goodness, people. But why does this work so well? Why did this work so well? Well, in a few seconds, I'll explain. I'll go to a different window. So 1, 2, 3, boop, and boop. All right, here we are, people. Once again, we are going to be looking at now Mimikyu. What is it about Mimikyu and Clefairy, for example? What is it about these two Pokemon? These two in particular. What is it about them that makes Mimikyu so powerful? And the reason why is because of, first of all, the disguise ability. The disguise ability that Mimikyu has, the fact that it just has a free substitute right off the bat. It doesn't have to worry about being hurt. It doesn't have to, take a turn to set up. It doesn't have to take that turn to risk itself. It's already got the free substitute. So that alone is a very powerful ability. But the other thing that Mimikyu learns, because, Snatch is a move to the move that it didn't get until, Ultra Sun and Moon, is that Mimikyu now has access to a tool that makes it extremely fast. And it was already pretty fast to begin with a 96 speed. But the fact that now it uses this ability which increases its speed by 2 stages. Oh my goodness, Mimikyu becomes ungodly nightmarish for Pokemon if they aren't able to stop it fast enough. And the fact that it can steal or make use of an ally's move, especially in doubles, I mean, that's just something you can't really, you just can't shake that off. Like if we go down here with the Z move effect, when Pokemon is holding Darkinium Z and uses its Z power, Snatch turns into Z-Snatch and raises speed 2 stages in addition to the usual effects from above. So what does Snatch do? Well, first of all, it steals stat boosts, for example, like Swords Dance and Belly Drum, which you saw the Clefairy use in the battle, protection moves such as Substitute, Lucky Chant, Wide Guard, or Quick Guard, and recovering and healing moves such as Recover, Ingrain, or Heal Bell, moves like Imprison, and other self-induced effects such as Magnet Rise, Power Trick, or Light Screen. It can't Snatch moves like Protect, Curse, Acupuncture, Helping Hand, or Taunt, but it makes use of the big moves that I just mentioned up here, Swords Dance and Belly Drum. Now let's go look at Clefairy. What is it about Clefairy in combination with Mimikyu that makes Clefairy so powerful, and what made it so difficult to deal with in my battle? Now, if we look at Clefairy's moves, for example, first of all, let's go down. Let's first look at the move pool. So the move that Clefairy used in the battle, you saw it was the Belly Drum. For those of you who don't know what Belly Drum does, what Belly Drum does is once the Pokemon uses this move, it loses half of its maximum HP, so it loses 50% of its health, but in exchange, it increases its attack stat to the maximum of +6. Regardless of whether or not it's at like -2, -3, -1, or even -6. It's gonna go to maximum of +6 regardless. With the combination of Clefairy's other ability, which is the Friend Guard, which reduces damage done to it and its allies, it protects it from most damage. It's like a free Eviolite for all Pokemon on the field. It reduces the damage by about like 50%. I forget the actual number, but this makes it a very powerful ability in combination with the Mimikyu, because Mimikyu might actually get hurt, and because of that belly drum will reduce its physical or its health by 50%. It's gonna need some help because it won't have any other items because it's used the Darkinium Z crystal. In combination, though, because of the Clefairy's ability to not only mitigate the damage but also redirect the damage, Mimikyu gets to do whatever it wants if it gets to, activate it. And if the opponent is, for example, going to set up a Swords Dance in its face, relying on the fact that or not knowing what this Pokemon is going to do, it's going to steal that Swords Dance as well. So that is one other thing that this Mimikyu and the Clefairy can bring together. If, for example, the Clefairy gets taunted, the Mimikyu still has that +2 speed, and it can, save itself in the fight. It can still go, it can swap out. First player can swap in a Pokemon that can go for the Swords Dance as well, and Mimikyu can snatch that and increase its physical attack. And, that's just what Mimikyu does, and Mimikyu and Clefairy teaming up together make this a very, very powerful ability. And as you saw in my battle, I was pretty much helpless against the Mimikyu once it got set up. And the combination of the Drain Punch, you know, I didn't even realize that Mimikyu could learn Drain Punch. So once it gets that +6 and loses that 50% health, it's going to need a little bit of a boost to get itself back into the game. And with the +2 speed, it's going to outspeed most Pokemon. So if it gets into a scrap with a Pokemon that it can, you know, handle, that Drain Punch will just drain all the health away and restore Mimikyu's health back up to full HP. And then you have moves like Shadow Claw just to, you know, give itself some stab damage. You got moves such as, I believe you got the Play Rough just for the fairy type coverage. And as I said before, you have the Z-Snatch, so that's gonna sit there. But in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned a thing or two about this combination. It's just so difficult to pull off with other Pokemon that the reason why Mimikyu can make use of the Z-Snatch is that it has that free substitute. So unless the Pokemon has a substitute already on the field, that Z-Snatch isn't going to do them very much unless the player prepares their team specifically to make use of the Z-Snatch. And as you saw in my battle with Neevkull, you know, I could not stop it, and once the second Pokemon got out there and actually pulled off the Psych Up, I was not expecting the Psych Up. I was, you know, trying to focus down Mimikyu. That Protect came out, protected Mimikyu, and once Psych Up got out, it was over. It was me versus 2 +2 speed Pokemon, each with +6 physical attack. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I thank you all for watching. I hope you all learned a thing or two. And hopefully maybe some of you will make use of this Z-Snatch Mimikyu. I know myself, I will, you know, try to think of something with this Mimikyu. I don't want to copy Neevkull, but that is such a powerful combo that Neevkull pulled off. I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
I'm taking in what I can get, but I can't find the answers yet. Head underwater, slow my mind. I hold my breath until I'm found. And the stars